Okay, if you guys have been following along with this PlayStation, it's one that I got off eBay for 20 bucks. It was a real good deal, and it was the specific model that I wanted, and most importantly, it was in a nice, real clean case, and it was in good condition. Had all the model number that I needed, the motherboard, and all of that. And they had told me that it was a non-functional optical drive, which was just fine because I do plan on installing an X station into this. So I got it and I unboxed it here on the channel, and after I tested it, I discovered that the controller ports weren't working. And upon some troubleshooting and hoping that it was maybe just the ribbon cable or something, it wasn't. And I went looking, and apparently there's some fuses and stuff, so I did some testing here online on the video, and discovered that this PS605 right here is open, so that tells me that fuse is blown. And what I want to do here now to test that is I actually got a fuse holder. I have a 2 amp fuse in here, which is unfortunately the smallest I had. I would have went a little smaller, maybe 1 amp, but 2 amps will be fine anyways for the protection this needs. In fact, in all honesty, I was just going to jump it out with a jumper wire to test it, and I'm sure it would have been fine, because what most likely took this fuse out to begin with was probably a bad third-party memory card or controller that was plugged into this at some time. And these ports are in good condition and clear, and I don't anticipate there being any shorts in there, so by even jumping that fuse, I'm sure it would have been fine and even good enough for a permanent fix. But I just wanted to test the theory, because if it is, I'm going to actually be replacing that fuse. I have the part number. Someone kindly enough posted that online in a thread that I had found when I typed in this PS605, and he shared a Mauser part number. So I'm actually going to share that down below for anyone else that's coming to this video looking how to fix their controllers not working, because I have a feeling this has probably affected quite a few PlayStations out there. So this is the process that I'm taking on discovering how that works and how to fix it. So like I said, I want to build this tool. It's going to be temporary right now, but I actually have some ideas in mind of making this like a permanent tool where I can interchange any size fuse or wire. And I was thinking of heat shrinking this, but not just yet, because I want to make this into a good testing tool. Anytime I have a fuse blown, I'm going to be able to come in with this tool, put any size fuse that I want in there, and just attach it into a circuit one way or another. And in this case, I'm just going to solder these two leads, these two 26 gauge wires that I have here for it, and I'm just going to solder them in place temporarily for now. Oh, this is a time, and I'm so glad that today I ordered, and finally ordered, because I've been wanting it for a while, is an Omnifixo. And for those of you that have not heard of it, maybe I'll link that down below too. But the Omnifixo looks like the handiest tool you can have for soldering. And I'm real excited to get it. It's a one-man team. I can't remember his name right now. He's from Sweden, I know that much. And he's made this real nice set of clamping tools. Because as you can see, what I'm doing here is not ideal. Oh, yeah, do I ever want that tool. It's a really cool tool. You guys should check it out. So for now, I'm just going to solder these in. I think that one's on there. Good. Looks good. You guys can probably see that better than I can on the camera. I think I'll even be coming in with the microscope when I go to put it on the board. It's not that that's necessary, but when your eyes are getting a little older, I'm telling you that it helps. And it is a joy to use too, so this time I'm actually just going to come in here, get some solder put down, and just come in here. And get those attached. So, they're both on there good. And then I think, yeah, just for now, like I said, this is going to be temporary until I set this tool up. Should have some electrical tape here. And for now, I'm just going to give it a couple wraps of that. I'm gonna have to lay this down in the board, and I've already seen that I won't have the clearance to install this fuse in the system and button it up. Not easily. There's this that goes on there, and it creates quite a seal almost around the board with this lower RF plate that's there, and it doesn't leave a lot of room for these wires to pass. I would maybe even need to notch something if I wanted to, but that's not necessary for this test, because this test is just going to be to install this in there, and I'll probably have to plug everything in maybe to have it boot properly. I don't think it'll know the difference, but I have this tool built here now, and I should be able to just come in there and solder it like so. But like I said, I think I'm going to use the microscope for this, and not that it's necessary to get the job done, but it sure is great for the inspection and knowing that you got a good connection there. I'm leaving that out of the equation. I really have confidence. I don't want to be overconfident that this is going to fix the controller problem, but I have a degree of confidence here that this is going to work, and this step might even be unnecessary, but I thought it'd be cool just to test it before I ordered the parts and everything to fix this. So this will prove the theory, and it's fun, and yeah, it'll be a neat little process. So I'm gonna swing in this microscope here now. So I'm sorry that I think this is probably gonna block you guys, and this microscope is equipped to facilitate a camera, and that is something I'm planning to get. I need to find the right one. And if it was that easy, trust me, I would, because unfortunately the ones that are made by Amscope are quite expensive, and there are some good alternatives on AliExpress, and there are many of them, but knowing which one to get is the problem. They all kind of look the same, and you don't really know what you're getting sometimes, so finding the right one, and if I knew which one it was, that would be easy. I'd already have it. But finding the right one, which one is the right one out of that minefield, is the hard part. So, to get this done, I might come in just actually with solder first and just put a little bit of solder down. Oh, this is such a joy. I can see so well in here, and I hope I can get the soldering done as well as I can see. It's actually kind of tricky to come in at this angle. Oh, I can see that so perfectly. Yes. So I have that fuse in the circuit now. That is definitely a good solid weld. And I should be able to swing this microscope out of the way. I'll let you guys see it there now, maybe, if you can. Hopefully that's coming through good. Okay, just maybe... Yeah, either way, you guys have seen what I've done there. So now that PS605 has a 2 amp circuit in there, and I'm going to try to gently, I want to place this here now, I think, right around there. Oh, that looks good. And it gives me plenty of room for these 2 ribbon cables here now, because I just need to get everything, I think, connected, which might be unnecessary, but I want it to kind of be fully functional when I plug it in. The last time I tested this, actually, it even had a mod chip in it. In my last video, I removed that mod chip. It was no big surprise to see one in there. In fact, I reminisced about the mod chips I installed back in the day when this was still a new console at the time, and I had a sleeve here of 5 of them from probably like 30 years ago or whenever that was. I used to buy them in bulk. I installed so many of them back in that day, and yeah, it was fun to see it there, and I removed it because we have better ways of doing this now. I haven't done it yet myself, but the X Station is what I have planned for this, which is a pretty big install, and I'm excited about that. And yeah, that's the whole reason why I wanted this particular model, is to perform the X Station install with a clean shell. And I think I showed it to you guys, but the shell looks good. I don't know how that comes up on the camera, but it's a nice shell. For 20 bucks, like I said, I couldn't go wrong on this deal. It was one of the best deals. I mean, I've saved more money before, of course, than the 40 or 50 bucks I saved on this, but it's just at $20, you can't resist, and the deal was just too good. So now I just need to reassemble everything. If First I need to remember where everything is. Okay, now I think this thing does believe it's a PlayStation again. So with that circuit in and everything back and reattached, I'm going to plug this in and test it. First I'll get the camera down. It's kind of a mess around here. This is going to be a super temporary setup. I'm just going to jack this into the front of the retro tank and test it. So I won't spoil any surprises. I'll wait for you guys before I test this to see if it works, because I'm just as excited as you guys are if you're still watching, because I want to know if that fix right there with the fuse will solve my controller. And I think also it's a memory card problem, because I read that it would affect your memory card. So no surprise, because it seemed like none of this module was working at all, probably because of that fuse. So we're gonna find out together, and I'll be right back with you guys. So I'll try to get you guys a decent view around here. Like I said, it's all pretty temporary and it's kind of messy right now until I get everything set up properly. Hopefully get the scalable video switch coming out again this weekend for the second wave. Missed it on the first one, sold out in basically a minute. So if you guys don't know what the scalable video switch is, you guys can check that out too. But until I have that, I basically can't get everything hooked up the way I want. So waiting on that until then, everything's kind of temporary. So we'll try to get this hooked up and tested, and you guys will be there for the ride if you're still watching. So I'll see you guys right back here. Okay, we're back, and like you can see, everything's just kind of temporary here right now. We got the PlayStation here. I just got it plugged into the front of the retro tank. I got it sitting on these custom feet, actually, that I designed and 3D printed. I didn't want it sitting right on top of my AVR, so I printed these feet that slot into the feet below it, and they just sit in there, cradled nicely, and keeps the elevated for the airflow. So we'll get the cable plugged in. We'll be very careful plugging in the AC power here. This is not the recommended way to run your PlayStations. You never want them to be naked like this. But I'm a professional, semi-professional, not a professional. So don't do it this way. But this should be good enough for the tests. I think I actually have a problem with the controller that came with it too, so that threw me for a loop, because I have a problem with the ports, and I also believe the controller. Thankfully I had my own original controller and I tested it on the PS2 and it was working. So I'm going to get that plugged in. This is a known good controller. So we should be able to get this all fired up. And I apologize, I should have had that done to just composite. And I apologize for your eyes, because we are going to be looking at composite video here now. But that'll be fine for the testing purposes. So if we turn this on with the power button, thankfully it turned on, we think. Looks like it's getting an input. It boots, so that's a good sign. Unfortunately, I do not have a controller still. So we have more than just that fuse problem, and that's really unfortunate. I'm going to have to dive in and look deeper. I was really hoping that was it. I was quite confident even. Unfortunately, I don't think it was. I never did check to see that I had continuity there, so what I'll do, there's still the possibility that that fuse holder and everything is not proper, I guess. Sure, it looked like it, but that was a new part that had not been tested. So who's to say? I never actually checked for continuity across that. We're going to just leave it there. I have the power removed. There's probably still some capacitance in that power circuit there, though, the power supply. We're just going to come in and test, and I do expect this to be good. And it is. Okay, well, that fuse has definitely been fixed. That's not a problem any longer. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was really confident that that was going to fix this. And honestly, I can't believe it didn't. There may be problems with Zener diodes down there, I read somewhere too. So that could be the next thing. At some point I'll cut my losses on this, but it'll be a fun project to keep on trying maybe. I'll see what else is available for information. I guess there's going to be more videos coming if I ever get this thing working again, so I'll see you guys in the next video. This PlayStation has a long journey, even if I do get it working, so that's just the beginning. This wasn't anticipated, but it's now part of the process, and it's also kind of fun too. So 20 bucks, like I said, I had nothing to lose, and I'm still having fun trying to figure out this thing, how it works and how to fix it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.